Leave it to two of us. bucks.
Ask me about McKinley too.
We got insurance coming against it, so all the leases all basically normal stuff. So whatever.
Go ahead and call this meeting to order. Would you stand and say the pledge with us, please? Under additions and deletions, you have the amendment to agreement for engineering services. Somebody like to make a motion to add that to new business?
I'll make a motion that I'll move that we add the amendment to agreement for engineering service for HDR, excuse me.
I'll second that motion.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Is there a motion for the council minutes for April 12th, 2021?
I move that we approve the council minutes for the last meeting.
Is there a motion? Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Reports. Councilman Moulton.
I have none at this time.
Councilwoman Fonz.
I have nothing.
Councilman Kincaid.
I have no reports. I just have a question maybe for our town attorney. If we've come up with any dates or anything on this investigation, are we going to see an end to this?
Thanks, Ray. The investigation's been completed. I just don't have the report yet. We should have it by Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Nunn.
Oh, yes. News from the landfill. The landfill is in the process of actually signing a permit with the DEQ to close the open pit. The next step will be to hire a qualified contractor, then to get a final set of plans from the DEQ for the actual construction, get bids, sign the contract, and get the project started. When this process starts, the current open pit is closed for dumping. The landfill is planning to place a drop box adjacent to the transfer station so the public will still have access for a location to deposit large, bulky items. The post-closure of the pit will be monitored for 30 years to ensure that no pollution is entering the soil or the groundwater. And a continuing problem at the landfill is out-of-district materials being dumped. When this happens, the landfill has to pay the cost of transporting and dumping the materials at the Casper landfill. So I think that we're moving in a good direction with the landfill. It's been a real struggle with the DEQ to get to this point, but we're trying, and we're also trying to have a place so that people can dump their bulky items without having to put them in the back of their pickup truck and take them to Casper. Question. Scott. Good morning. The idea of a banner for the future site of the town square sounds really great. Can you get that thing going?
I think we're all working on it. I believe last conversations, Randy was going to touch base with Caspar Building Systems and see if they were going to produce some type of
That's nice, I like that. And then I have another question. Have the liens that have been placed on the fees unpaid on Sunup Ridge, have they placed liens on those unpaid fees, do you know?
No, they have not, to my knowledge, and that's kind of out of my department, but Kelly could probably tell you more on that or where that stands.
To my knowledge, no liens have been placed at this time.
Is there any reason they haven't?
I don't have an explanation for that.
I mean, if they owe us money, we should.
Is there any news,
collect it?
Amy? I asked a couple weeks ago.
This is something that we should probably discuss in executive session.
And then Tammy, have all the senior pictures or all the banners, do they have a sponsor?
I believe Kelly contacted them. I saw on Facebook that
I can
all of
answer
the
that.
seniors had sponsors.
All graduating seniors have sponsors, so they'll all be up on the streets.
And then you indicated that we might be able to give a donation for the graduation party. Do you know when that is and how that could be done?
Kelly and I talked about it. I don't know. I mean, we all talked about it.
I put the word out with the lady that was handling the senior banners and just let her know to be in contact if they needed any help. So,
It might be nice just to give them something to buy prizes. You know, that's pretty special graduating from high school,
right?
especially after what happened to them last year. And Tammy, I'd like to thank you for this parliamentary procedure that you put out for us. And I guess, Bruce, as a point of parliamentary inquiry, is this document what we're going to go by for handling our motions at meetings?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, that's it.
Okay, I just have a couple things. I just wanted to remind people that there is a recycling bin that's been placed out here in the parking lot over here. And it was dropped off by a recycling company out of Douglas, and it will take aluminum. Anything that they gather between now and the 30th, it'll be there till the 30th, and everything that's collected out of that will be donated to the local Boys and Girls Club here. There is a community blood draw that'll take place on April 30th from 7 to 10 a.m. at the Senior Center downstairs. Appointments and masks are necessary, and the phone number is posted on our fire hall sign and also on the town Facebook page if you want to schedule an appointment for that. And then lastly, I will not be at the next meeting. I'll be out of town for training. Kelly will take notes.
I have a question on recycling.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a chance that we could work with those folks from Douglas, because there's nobody here, where we could have a permanent recycling bin here for the folks in Glen Rock to recycle, not just a couple of months out of the year?
Plastic too, paper.
Yes, I mean the whole gamut. The bin for plastic, paper, cardboard.
I think it'd definitely be worth entertaining.
I-
The idea of the problem we have is, I'm going to say, what I've heard is trash containment around it. When they miss the bin or whatever's dumped underground, we just got to pick the right place to put it so it's contained right away.
I think we could maintain that. I mean, that stuff happened, but I think the means overweighs that, and I think we need to really look at that seriously.
I'll look into it.
Thank you.
Roy, Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question of Council Member Kincaid?
Sure.
Supposed to do it. Roy, the landfill is interested in trying to get some recycling done. I would invite you to come to their next meeting and discuss that with them, and maybe we can work between the town and the landfill to get a really good recycling program going.
I'm open to that, as long as it's not during school hours.
No, it's at 5:30 in the evening at the library.
Okay.
I'll let you know for sure when the next one is, if you would come and discuss that with them.
Sure.
They would be real happy to hear your thoughts.
Thank you.
Kelly, Treasurer.
Mayor and Council, just continuing to work on budget, and a reminder, next budget session Monday night, next Monday night, I believe it's 3rd at 6 p.m.
Randy, Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The crew's been busy with meter reading, street sweeping, meter repair. We're doing the sewer washing of all the town, grading some roads, filling potholes, other than we just ran out of oil. We're waiting for it. It's supposed to have been here last week and it didn't show up, so hopefully it'll be here this week so we can keep going on that. And I have 3 in training at Casper College to get certified on line locating this week, and then next week 3 more are going. So everybody on the crew will be pretty much certified in line locating. And let's see, the metal has been picked up and delivered to Mike Stevens for the South Rec sign that they wanted built. So I don't know when it'll be done, but when it gets done, we'll get her put it in the ground. That's all I got.
Scott, Building.
Mayor and Council, Building Department, we got a big thing on the agenda right now for myself as steward is trees, shrubs, winter debris in the backyards, front yards, and alleys. We'll start doing official notices first part of next week, and we'll start pushing that to get that cleaned up. Second thing, the house on 501 Windmill, it's about 2/3 of the way underway, and construction's wrapping up good. Dollar General started compaction test and been putting concrete this week on the first phase of the new store. Reviewing plans are about 90% complete for the town water park through Caspar Building Systems. As soon as those are complete, then we'll be issued a permit. As we talked last time, Margaret, I started marking on the building permits for those who will have landfill loads to go to the dump, marking them by either load size or quantities. Then that's all I have.
Scott, just a question about if someone receives an official notice about branches or what in their yard, what do they have to do? What's the specific meat of that notice?
They most of them we try to give, ordinance says they have 3 days to abate the situation. We try to give everybody 10 days, gives them a week and a weekend plus in there. If they do not abate the situation themselves, the town will go in and abate the situation, and whatever that charge is, according to ordinance, we bill it correctly from there.
Do you have any idea what the charge would be? If my neighbors ask me, can I have it picked up cheaper than I can take it myself?
It's hard to say.
Probably can.
It's
A little break
pretty
my heart.
harsh. I'm not going to get into that one, Margaret.
Well, I just wondered if someone says, why should I pick this up? The town will pick it up for me, and I'll be glad to pay them.
Our ordinance states if we paid $20 to have it cleaned up, we bill you double. Then within 10 days, if you don't pay that, we turn your water off.
Nice.
It's pretty cut, dry, and clear. So
Something we really don't want to start for the town.
correct.
Randy's shorthanded, so let's not.
I'll do it. No problem.
Margaret, one question. You on the DEQ permit process for the open pit, do they have a projected time when they may close that pit, or is it 6 months, a year? Is there any?
They haven't projected one yet, but they are definitely talking about starting the work. I think one of the largest problems is going to find a qualified contractor. They have to be environmentally certified or whatever the DEQ does before they can start this. They're very expensive and very hard to find, and that's probably going to be the biggest hitch to getting this thing going. If we can find a time, I'm glad to let you know what it is. I think people need to know, twink, the door is shut to the open pit.
Thank you.
Get your couch out there this week.
Get rid of that stuff in big broom. Moving on to Jared, IT.
Hey, good evening, Mayor and Council. I've just been working on finishing up that demonstration for the cybersecurity product, that Darktrace that I demonstrated in that budget session. That'll be wrapping up here shortly. I did get some lower pricing on that, so that would be not a whole lot, a couple $1,000s, but that's still something. And been working on a little bit of network engineering to account for that appliance and how it accounts for devices and stuff like that, to try to clean up our network a little bit, and then account for there's some possible upgrades for our 911 system coming down the line, and so we're looking at possibly re-engineering that link as well to to be able to push some more services across to even more than what we're currently doing right now. And then other than that, wrapping up some budget stuff and working on getting some cameras out in the park in the South Rec. There's ones that exist there, but getting those ones replaced and then backhauled. On Thursday this week, we should have some tower work done, provided weather and wind allow us, and that'll let us then start hooking up cameras and things around the city and other devices that we need, and they can backhaul through that tower and come back to the town hall here. That's about it. Any questions?
If not, we'll move on to fire department. Sean Lindsay.
Hope you guys having a good evening tonight. We will be sending 5 firemen to the Cody Fire School this weekend. So, nice to have the schools open back up again so we can get some more training in. Also, we have 1 new fireman that will be voted on probably at the next fire department business meeting. So we're working on trying to get those numbers up. We've been helping with the COVID shots. And we did end up with 2 trucks from the state. So we kind of just need a little guidance on how you want to do the bills on that.
What you guys pay for them, bring us bills and we'll reimburse you.
Okay. And they will be getting started on that. We got the pumps ordered and getting ready to start construction on it.
Is the Forest Service going to do that for you?
Pardon?
Is the Forest Service going to do that for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That way it'll be all to their specs and ready to rock.
Okay.
How many firefighters do you have right now?
I believe we're up to 26, 27.
What would be an optimal number for you?
Oh, 50.
Okay.
Take the load off of some of the guys, more the better. Other than that, everything's trucking right along. That's all I got.
Thanks, Sean. That's it for reports. Any items from the floor?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Thank you for using your mic, Jared. We could hear you in the back. Just a little dig there. It'd be nice if you all use them better. We could all hear better. Anyhow, thank you, John, Randy, Mike Stevens for getting that iron for Bob Taylor. The man deserves it. Him and his crew took it off. They put it on Monkey Mountain and brought it back down here. This man deserves a little bit of that. But thank you very much. I haven't been to all these meetings, of course, but I was just wondering, when this investigation started, did the board approve all this? The governing body? No? Okay. I was just wondering about that. So, Madam Lawyer, you're saying that we're going to hear the end of this soon, or what?
We should be receiving a report on Friday of this week.
Okay. Is this going to be the end of it, or what?
I have no idea what the report's going to say, sir, so I don't know.
Okay. Interesting to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, distinguished members of the council. Mike Wattersbach, wife and I live out on Mormon Canyon Road. We've been notified that they're planning to put a walking path out there at a cost of around $1 million is our understanding, and just like to express our opposition to that plan. It would be a path to nowhere, like many other paths around here. I feel that the money could be better spent connecting the paths, make it an intricate path system for the community. It's interesting to note that the cost of $1 million would be enough to pay every one water bill in Glen Rock for over 20 years.
Not quite.
Well,
Close.
but the concept, conceptually, would you agree that it would pay everyone's water bill for a long time?
Very long time, sir, yes.
Very long. I suggest that the money be spent improving the welfare of this community and this population. just want to again express our opposition. Yes, ma'am.
What would be your idea of spending the money to improve the welfare? Would you have some suggestions on that?
Well, there's various things we could do. We can do things with a senior citizen, improve our playgrounds, pay the water bill for our residents. We're the taxed, so there's just a lot more we could do with it, Margaret.
Do you think that we're in any way shortchanging future generations if we don't have this opportunity for there to be a walking path to get out to the South Recreation? Because if it's not put in now, it'll be very, very expensive, incredible as that may seem, in the future.
Well, if you think of the dynamics and the logistics of the walking path, when the snow plows plow, they'll actually cover up the walking path if it's, as it plows. So you need additional funding and personnel to clean that. Also, it will increase the traffic out there. Part of the appeal of Mormon Canyon Road is its appearance. The slow, winding, casual, lazy drive out to South Rec is relaxing and it's picturesque. It's pristine. And to straighten the road, and I know the county is probably set to do that, would increase the traffic and perhaps increase liability for the city to pedestrians out there, walking, crossing the road, etc. So, again, just want to express as citizens and as residents, would just like to express our opposition to that plan. Would suggest that perhaps connect some of these trails like into City Park. That's a trail, with all due respect, it's a trail to nowhere. If we could connect that on down to the river, maybe make picnic spots there or loop it around the park, it'd be more practicable.
I got I think that when you talk about continuation of the paths, I think there's discussion, part of this, from our main path that we have, our path, we will have something where they will turn right there and continue out to South Rec. That's part of the plan, I think, to do something like that.
Will the path go to South Rec, or will it end at the, our understanding is it will end at the interstate.
Right.
So it'd be, with all due respect, it'd be a path to nowhere. Margaret.
One problem that we have been kind of confronted with by the county on the issue of this road is the fact that the road may drop off in the creek if we don't do something about it, which would be kind of a large problem too.
That could be problematic.
It's a terrible place to have to build a road, but we don't have to want to put a bridge up there or something to get out there.
Rick Grant had told me about a year ago that the road had drifted to the west. I'm not sure how the road drifts to the west, but I can perhaps see it happening. But again, the walking path, a lot of money. We could use the money better here. Seniors, schools, playgrounds, a real dog park, not a dog pen.
Thank you. I think you have some very good comments.
Thank you.
I got one question.
I guess, sir.
How'd you get the amount? Because we haven't even got the amount.
We were, I think that's kind of the consensus on the street is that it's $1 million project.
We haven't
Don't know.
We haven't
Don't know.
even got it. I've been asking and asking, and we haven't got one yet. So.
Okay. I have a question. Will that path go on the right side of Mormon Canyon or the left, or how will you do that?
West side towards the creek.
Towards the
It's on
creek?
the east side of the creek, on the east side of the road.
East. Yeah.
East side of the road, against the hillside, sorry.
Against the hillside.
What about our easement into our property there?
We can't tell you that. This is a county project. We're not in control of that, so you're going to need to go talk to a county commissioner meeting and talk to them about that more.
Okay.
Of how they're going to align that, because we have a 30% drawing. We've been told in the next week, I think we'll see a 90% drawing.
Supposed to, yes.
Supposedly, but there's still been no official numbers or anything else for cost of the job. We know that our engineering firm cost for possibly doing the pathway has dropped about $32,000.
Let's say it cost $800,000 or $1 million. Let's just speculate. Isn't that money better spent on the people as opposed to concrete?
It's probably better spent in town for infrastructure or stuff for the health, safety, and welfare of the public, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Gary Bolton. I live there on Mormon Canyon Road. Mr. Otterbox and I are neighbors. I give you a little pamphlet there that I made up this morning, and you'll see that if you look at, yes, that's it. Okay. You had a question about that, Margaret.
No, I just want to see.
No, yeah, I know. Yeah, I had to have a header page for that, so that's what I put on there. If you had questions about what other places you could put a walking path in, if you look on the first page, past the truck, okay, you notice that highlighted in blue is the existing walking path in the park. You're looking at the city park right now. That's what you're looking at. Okay. The one in blue, it's 1,272 feet long. That's the existing walking path that's in the park that goes along the creek. But my proposal to the city is to go ahead and if they want to do some more walking paths, go ahead and extend that to the east and then back to the south, back to the old railroad right-of-way, which is now the walking path. And that distance is 1,883 feet. And if you walk down the existing bike path to the stairways that goes back down into the park, that's another 565 feet. Now that gives you 3,720 feet, okay? That's well over a half a mile for one little loop there in the park if you was to make that instead of that one down Mormon Canyon Road. I don't want a walking path in front of my house. I don't. Trust me, I don't. I don't want it in front of my storage units, and I don't want it in front of my house. The reason, well, I don't know if you can fit it in there anyway, because the county actually doesn't have an easement through there. They have a right-of-way, but they don't have an easement. And the right-of-way is only 60 feet. And I don't know how they're going to squeeze it all in there with the road, the walking path, and the ditches. I don't know how they're going to do that. They're going to have to probably acquire an easement from me.
That or condemn it.
Huh?
That or condemn it.
Yeah, they can condemn it, I suppose. And they could do something really stupid if they wanted to, but I think I'd have a discussion with it before that happened. Anyway, if you look at that, you'll see that there is a loop there that you can make in the park itself so that you get almost, it's over a half a mile, almost 3/4 of a mile, go all the way around inside the park to finish that out. Okay, on the second page, you'll see that this is up by the Senior Citizen Center, coming right off Deer Street. Okay. If you go up to the Senior Citizen Center and go clear to the end, there's a little turnaround or a cul-de-sac thing up on the end there. Well, I think it was proposed a long time ago, back when they built Indian Hills 1, to go ahead and annex that road into that. It was supposed to go past between the Early Childhood Development Center and the museum. You'll see that it looks like there's an easement there already. Do you see that? It's already blocked off.
Blocked out, but it's in private ground.
Huh?
It's blocked out, but it's in private ground. It's not. I don't believe that's a true easement out there, Gary.
Well, it's here or there because that's all really basically public property. I mean, and it's owned by the clinic.
Well, the clinic owns a large chunk of it, but all that up there right back next to where that road starts off of there, well, it also belongs to the guys that bought part of that I believe what used to be the old.
When I pulled it up, it said the clinic.
It may be that.
When I pulled it up
south, but still, it's still privately owned. It belongs to the hospital district, yes, but.
Now, I know that if the hospital district goes defunct, where does it go?
How's it ever going to go defunct when it's a mill levy?
Yeah, I know that, but what if it, you know what I mean? What if it goes defunct? It actually goes back to the county. Anyway, this is just a proposal because basically the clinic got a little park over there they bought. And I don't see where they'd have a problem if you was to build a trail from the end of Deer Street, went to the Rockin' Glen, and back down to where that little park is. If you look, you can see it on there. That's the one that's on the bottom of the map, the bottom run that I have there. And John might be able to help us out with that.
Didn't they have some plans to put a path there anyway? anyway, right?
Well, just to redo the path where they put the gazebos up.
Right.
Just to fix that path up nice to go up to the rock drawing.
Well, could you get in partnership with the city and go ahead and do a walk path there? Because that actually has some elevation changes in it. So if anybody wanted to do any walking, they could do some elevation changes. And then you could put a little sign down there that tells us what kind of an elevation change you'd have.
I mean, if we're going to connect Deer Street, I think we should make it a street and go all the way back down to Birch.
Should do
Not a
what?
walk path, but that would be my opinion.
Put it down Birch?
If we're going to do something off of Deer, we ought to just finish Deer Street to go down to Birch, not a walk path.
Make it a street instead.
Yeah, make it a street instead.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I'm just giving you some ideas instead of Mormon Canyon because I don't really want a walking path in the middle of my house.
I believe the clinic does own that land, though, Gary, behind that.
Huh?
They own like 14 acres back there. I think they own that chunk of land.
Yeah, they own all of that right there. I pulled it up on the map server, and they said the clinic owns all that.
If you look at the original plat of town, the map server is not correct. That is platted as a legal street right away for the town of Glen Rock. Been there,
It was supposed to be the second egress out of Indian Hills.
Right.
been there for
It was never developed.
correct.
Well, if that's original street
Turn
easement,
and go down in between the clinic and the end of the old Coast to Coast store.
well, I'm just trying to give you some other options and ideas so that you can make it better, and it's all in Glen Rock itself instead of going out in the prairie and trying to make a walking path. You know, this has been tried before, trying to get the committee together to do a walking path to the South Wreck, and I was on that committee about 20 years ago. Kathy Patchett put it together. And we tried to get access along the creek on the west side, and nobody would give us access to get down to the South Wreck. So everything kind of just went south. So the only thing I'm trying to do here is trying to give you guys options that you can keep it in the city and on city properties. And you might have to talk to the clinic about trying to do something down there, but it looks like they're pretty amiable towards doing stuff like that because basically they bought a park, and the clinic is now in the Parks Division. So why wouldn't they go ahead and go and do something like that?
That's not our monkeys, not our circus.
I know. Well, it's just an option. I'm just putting options out there. I mean, if you want to keep it in the city limits, that's the way to fly. And if you want to finish that walkway around the park there, that's over a half a mile. It's almost 3/4 of a mile. So you could add that to inside Glen Rock without even having to ask for an easement or anything. So, how do you like the picture?
I go by it every day.
Okay. Okay, I'm done. If you guys want any questions or anything, all right.
Thanks for your comments, Gary.
Okay.
Any other items from the floor? If not, we'll move on to new business. First item of new business is open container permit for Deer Creek Lounge. Is there a motion?
I make a motion. I move that we approve the open container permit waiver. The Deer Creek Lounge.
Motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded now for discussion of it. This is apparently for the dates for Deer Creek Days.
Is the fencing going to be the same way it was last year?
Joe's here, you can ask him. Mr. Taylor's here.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. Travis Taylor, Deer Creek Lounge. I don't understand, do you have questions for me or regarding this? Or?
Last year, wasn't there questions about the fence along Aspen there into traffic?
They usually fenced off their
Parking lot.
parking lot for their beer garden for the outside, yes.
Yeah, the only problem we had was trying to get to we can't get to their dumpster when they do that, to dump it.
So it'll be the same fencing as it was last year?
Yes, sir.
And we need to move that someplace
And
where we can get to it.
sure, but we can accommodate you there. We can open it up whenever you need access.
While you get so busy, everybody down here in Deer Creek full, so.
Yeah.
Why we're out picking everybody else up, be able to get you, so.
Sure.
Is there any other questions for Mr. Taylor? Glad to see somebody's in early this year to get this done, because that's coming up quick, and there's a few other establishments that need to get here.
Yeah.
Deer
I'm
Creek Lounge is
always
always
in
the first one.
contact with Tammy to get it in, because I don't ever want to have to be the late guy ever again. So.
They're always first.
Yes, we have been for the last couple years. But if we could coordinate that with you, if you could kind of get with Tammy or me and let us know exactly the day and time you need in, and we'll make
You
sure you
just
get
go in
in.
early every morning during different days and dump them, so.
Okay,
Or if we can move it to where we can get at it, it'd be another way.
sure.
Easy for you and easy for us.
Okay.
Is there any other questions? If not, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next order of business would be the amendment to agreement for engineering services with HDR Engineering.
Oh,
Is there a motion?
We have the tree grant.
Oh, I skipped it, sorry. Okay, the tree grant for KC Toner, 19 Frontier Court, asking for a tree grant. We pay up to what?
500.
500 on that, and he's got several bids. He's did a real good job of getting all the information. So is there a motion for this tree grant?
I move that we pay this tree grant.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Back to the amendment for agreement for engineering services. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion for the amendment to agreement for engineering services.
Mr. Mayor, parliamentary point, please. Motions need to be made in the correct manner.
I asked if there is someone would like to make the motion.
A motion needs to be made, stated in the correct fashion. I move.
I can't make that motion.
I move that we amend the agreement for engineering services.
This motion is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion on it now. The engineering costs originally were $86,000 and some change, almost $87,000 originally stated to us. Right now, with the information we received last week, looks like the engineering costs right now are $55,383. It's for everybody's knowledge of what has came into us so far. There's, like we said, there's supposed to be approximately a 90% drawing of the engineering of the Mormon Canyon Road sometime next week, possibly.
Next Thursday, if I remember correctly.
So, if everybody's in agreement with that, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Our last order of business would be bills and claims.
Mr. Mayor, may I make a request, please?
Yes, ma'am.
We left at our last meeting an unresolved motion that was on the floor. Let us handle that in a correct parliamentary procedure and get that out of our way. I do not believe it is correct for a non-voting member of the council to declare a motion.
As mayor, I can declare that as out of order.
What? Declare what?
Your motion was declared out of order and was backed up by what the town's lawyer told you about it.
The motion was out of order?
Yes.
May I ask why it was out of order?
Because with me putting the chief of police on administrative leave, you guys do not have the right to override that.
So that means that the motion is officially off the floor.
Correct.
unless it's made again.
And again, I will say it's made out of order. Moving on to bills and claims. Is there a motion?
I move we pay our bills and claims.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Homax equipment, looks like water department, 5364, just says equipment.
We had diesel tanks brought in so we can attach them to our generators. So if there's an event, our generators will last longer. Like this winter when we couldn't get out there without the snow cap.
Oh, for like the wells and stuff?
Yeah, but there's generators at each well. And we had 500-gallon diesel tanks brought out, and John and Bill right now are plumbing them into the generators, excuse me.
Any other questions?
I better go a little farther. There's one at the lift station too.
Lift station?
Yeah, that's why it's so much. We had 3 brought.
One we're getting rid of at the RV park?
No. Our big lift station that runs our whole sewer system.
It's on the northeast corner of Oregon Trails. Any other questions? Not, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Is there a motion for adjournment?
I move we adjourn the meeting.
Motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.
Let's go home and have tea.
What's that? Second week in May. We were going to do the first.